Hello everyone and welcome to WhatCulture Gaming. I'm Josh, joined today by Kirsten. You've almost certainly seen her on the channel already, but this is her first ever news video. So, be very kind in the comments below. We thought we'd do a news roundup today for you because we missed a lot of stuff over the last week and over the weekend. So we've got a couple big stories to talk through today. So I'm going to kick it off with the fact that E3 is actually returning in 2021. It is not dead. We all thought, it might be gone because it had to be cancelled this year, and it was in trouble even before, everything that's going on in the world forced its hand. But the ESA, the parent company who actually, organizes and hosts E3, have officially said that it is going ahead next year, June 15th and June 17th, 2021. I, for one, am really excited because I bloody love E3. We talk about this on the channel all the time, Kirsten, we view it as kind of, gamers' Christmas or whatever. So
yes,
are you excited to see it back?
Yes. I think, it was inevitable, wasn't it? With obviously the current situation, it's kind of happening everywhere. But it was never going to just stop, was it? It's E3. It's never going to just disappear. It's not, it's exciting. It's one of those things that I think you can sit down and get all your snacks and everything ready, and you're just right, let's do this. Let's see what's going on. And it's a crazy event. And so for them to just, it was never going to go, was it? It was never going to disappear.
No, definitely. And they've said that actually it's not going to be necessarily the E3 we're used to, because it's going to be a reimagined event. We don't really know what that means yet, because obviously they're still trying to figure it out. But this year's was actually supposed to be quite different. They were going to go down the more of the, kind of streamer route. They were going to get a lot of personalities in and celebrities in. And they do that already, but it was going to be a double downing of that. So I assume when it does come back, it will be different and hopefully good and new. But I do have some bad news potentially to act as the yin to this yang, and that's that rumors are apparently floating around from Mike Futter, who is an industry journalist, who has said that this year's E3 streaming service, because when it was announced that the event was cancelled, the ESA were trying to get publishers in to hold a streaming event, kind of like a Nintendo Direct, where they all come on and show off their new games. Apparently that's not going ahead. Everyone has kind of politely declined they mentioned in the report. So that kind of sucks. We're not going to get any replacement for it this year. It doesn't mean that the announcements aren't going to go ahead. It just kind of means that we're not going to get that one big event that we all look forward to. Like you said, get your snacks in, get the bevs in.
Something's better than nothing, though, at this point, I think. It's something to look forward to kind of, the light at the end of the tunnel for the next year anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's out of their hands at this point, and the games are still going to come. The reveals are still going to happen. It's not going to be in this one, event. And we do have it to look forward to next year and see what they manage to pull off. But yes, what is next on the docket, Kirsten? Do we have anything?
So,
any good news
on the list? We do. Well, there have been rumors circulating on 4 more Modern Warfare sequels. So they're going to kind of tie in with Call of Duty 4 and then continue on from the original, I think, and mainly revolving around the villains between that time. Been a few leaks before, one of them being Warzone, of course, which then turned out to be true. It was correct. It was released, and it seems to have been all kind of starting on Reddit, apparently, and people are trying to figure out who it is that's leaking the information, because Activision obviously doesn't want that information coming out anymore, because they have all these new ideas and games coming out, and people are finding out about them way before they've even announced them. So they're trying to actually ask Reddit users to identify this person, whoever it may be, to figure out let's just stop this from happening, because it's happening all the time. It's constantly getting leaked. So but 4 more games. I don't know how they keep going. I really don't.
Well, I know it's like putting the cart before the horse or something. You do mention there that obviously they've had a bunch of leaks recently, and they've all been spot on. Like you said, Warzone was leaked beforehand. Even this year's upcoming Black Ops 5, which hasn't actually been formally announced, that was leaked ages ago. Someone inside Activision or working for these teams is just absolutely spreading the information all over the place. But 4 more Modern Warfare games. That is
a lot.
Mad. Obviously, the most recent game was very successful, and now we have had Warzone to double down on that. But when it comes to Call of Duty, for me, I have to take it one game at a time. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed the most recent Modern Warfare. And the idea of more is really good, but the idea of, Activision just pumping out a bunch more games to capitalize on it, it's perhaps a bit worrying, maybe.
Yes, it definitely starts to seem that way. I think that, there's just been so many. I mean, I personally haven't played a Call of Duty game in many, many years, but I do remember thoroughly enjoying the Modern Warfare, Call of Duty games that they released. They were definitely my favourite. I really liked the stories and everything about, the game in general. But, like you said, it does sort of get to that point where it seems like they are just, it's every year, it's like, oh, another one, oh, another one, oh, another one. And it's like, and sometimes the stories are great. They do kind of come up with these really cool concepts, but other times you just sort of look at it and think, I just don't see how this can keep going. Like, how many more years can this keep? And 4 more games as well. It's not like it's a couple, 4 more. It's
well, I think,
it's worrying.
There's part of me that quite likes it, because at least they're going down, the story-driven route. They seem to be, focusing these next projects on individual characters. They mentioned they were going to flesh out both of the villains and the heroes from the recent reboot, as well as the, Call of Duty 4. And that sounds good, because I like that world, and I do like the Call of Duty campaigns. I think they're always really fun weekend. So more of that is exciting, and the fact that they're not going to, ship a Call of Duty Modern Warfare without a campaign mode is good. But at the same time, like, for me, the past Call of Duties, Black Ops, in my opinion, got run into the ground a little bit. The original Modern Warfare got run into the ground a little bit, and this is their biggest brand at the moment. So I'm cautiously optimistic, I think, is what I'm trying to say. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Yeah. I also, I've got no clean segue into the next segment, just pure disappointment, because can you remember Scalebound, the Microsoft Xbox exclusive that was all about you being this guy who was riding dragons? It sounded awesome. Yeah, and it got cancelled, and the internet has been furious about it ever since. And there were rumors that it was going to come out on Nintendo Switch. There were rumors last year that they were going to pick it up and revive it, and release it and please the fans. It would have been amazing, but sadly, our friend Spill Fencer, the head of Xbox, was on an IGN podcast and said that it's not coming back, it's never getting revived, and that he regrets, everything to do with that project in a way, because it sucks, like fans keep demanding it to come back, and it's looked like it had a lot of potential, because Platinum Games, the developer, they've made some excellent titles like, Bayonetta and Nier, and the idea of meshing that combat with riding dragons seems like a no-brainer, but apparently nobody's picking it up, and it's gone. So I suppose we can finally all get over it collectively. But
it's basically their way of just telling us, like, it's not happening, so just move on. Like, it does. It kind of sucks, because, like you said, you get all these people who really get their hopes up because they make it look so amazing, and especially with stuff like dragons. Like, dragons is one of those things that you're like, put a dragon in a game and it's like winner, like duh. So to have that, like, build up, and then just have someone turn around and go, no, just get over it, okay? It's not happening. Move on. And it's mean. Like, we just want to be happy. We just want to fly dragons. Is that too much to ask? Like,
come on, Phil. Just let us fly some dragons. That's all I want.
Just let us fly some dragons. That's all we want. And then having that I think especially having that on a Nintendo Switch system would have been amazing. Like, that would have just worked so brilliantly. But
yeah, definitely. Like,
we can dream, or maybe we can't.
Maybe, if someone
we're not allowed to dream anymore.
In dreams, makes it in the game dreams, they might be able to,
yes,
maybe make a fan mode. I don't know. I'm just I just want it to kind of happen, and even though there's no chance, it still hurts a little bit.
Yeah,
Speaking of being hurt,
right there.
I feel like you've got some news about The Last of Us Part 2 delay.
Yes, it's a very similar situation in which that Last of Us 2 has been delayed again, for not the first time. Obviously, it was supposed to come out February this year, then it was moved back to May, and now there is just no information as to when it's coming out, which is a bit of a bummer. Neil Druckmann was discussing it on PlayStation Blogcast. He said, and I quote, "You're working on something for so long, for some of us for many years, obviously, and you can't wait for that thing to be released, and you just want to see people's reactions," which is fair enough, because, so we want to play it. This is something that's been hyped up and built up, and we were so looking forward to. So obviously he was pretty bummed, as well as the fans, who are now asking, why would you not just release a digital version of it if it's there and it was going to come out on February, then why not just release a digital copy or a demo version? But he's saying no, it's too much work. People are working from home, which everyone is at the moment, so it is a lot of work. We do understand that, but as of yet, he's just kind of leaving us in the lurch a little bit, really. He's sort of not giving us anything to play with.
Yeah, it's hard because I feel like, in a way it's out of his hands. He's mentioned a few times that The Last of Us 2 was essentially, it was going to hit its release date had everything not, happened. And the game itself is in the bug fixing stage, so it's more or less completely done, which, like you said, again, has, perhaps rightfully led to a lot of people asking, well, just if it's nearly done, release it digitally. If the problem is the physical copies that they can't get made, then just, launch it on PSN and let everyone play it. And I that is a kind of appealing, an appealing prospect, but at the same time, this is Sony and Naughty Dog's perhaps biggest game of the entire generation, so they're going to want everyone to play it, and that's going to mean delaying it for a good few months. The only worrying bit is that, like you said, it's indefinitely, so we don't know whether it's going to be a short release, if it's going to be best case scenario, or if it's going to be pushed to 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I think it's just people don't like being left in the lurch when, like you said, they've been told that, we're literally just fixing some like occasional bug, so it's pretty much good to go. And to have someone tell you that, and you're just sat there, and especially with the situation we're in now, we are just all sat here. We've got nothing to do but play video games pretty much. So yeah, I do see both. I'd see both sides of the story, but yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. I personally, I do get both sides, but I just think that I don't know. I think fans just get so passionate about these things, especially at how good the first game was. Yeah. And it was, we had trailers so early on for the second one, and it was just, people have been waiting for this so long, and to finally get into that, that point where you think, yes, it's happening now, it's getting released within the next couple of months, and then it's pushed back, and then it's just, we don't know, so deal with it.
You make a good point there about, we are all just sat around and we're looking forward to these video games even more so than usual, because they're such a great way to, pass the time and immerse yourself in some, world that is not reflective of whatever is happening outside, but hopefully it'll still be a great game. He reiterated that it's internally they are loving the way it's shaping up. They think it's going to be excellent, so hopefully it'll be worth the wait. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below about all of today's news stories. Are you looking forward to E3? Are you absolutely gutted about Scalebound and The Last of Us? And I've actually forgotten the other news that we did. 4 Call of Duty games, which is mad and a lot. But yeah, if you could leave us a like, share, subscribe, and head over to WhatCulture.com for more lists news like this every single day. That would very much be appreciated. Even if you don't, though, I being Josh, joined today by Kirsten. Don't forget to give a lot of love down in the comments below, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.